Welcome on Patente B in English. Scheda number 4. Like the video and subscribe. Question number 1. Il segnale raffigurato consente il transito ai quadricicli a motore. Number 1, the right answer is vero. He says this sign allows the passage of engine vehicles with 4 tires. That is quadriciclo. So the number 1, the answer is vero because the sign prohibits the transit of pedestrians. So the answer is vero, that motor vehicles or engine vehicles can pass on this road. Very good. 2. La fermata non deve arrecare intralcio alla circolazione. And the answer is vero. It says the stop of the vehicle or the stopping of the vehicle should not obstruct the road or should not block the road. So the answer is vero. Whenever you stop your vehicle, you are not supposed to stop it in a way that it will block the circulation of the road. So the 2 is vero. 3. In caso di traffico intenso, il conducente deve mantenere sempre la distanza di sicurezza dal veicolo che lo precede. And the 3 is vero. He says, in heavy traffic, the driver must always maintain the safety distance from the vehicle in front. And the answer is vero. You have to always keep the safety distance irrespective of the condition of the road. So the number 3, the answer is vero. 4. Su strade extraurbane secondarie il limite massimo di velocità è di 80 km orari per autovetture con carrello appendice. And the number 4, the answer is falso. It says, on a secondary extra-urban road, the maximum speed limit is 80 kilometers per hour for cars with trailers. And therefore, the answer is falso because it becomes 70 and not 80. So therefore, that is why the answer is falso. Very good. 5. Durante le operazioni di sostituzione di una ruota tramite il martinetto crick, bisogna evitare di mettersi sotto il veicolo. And then number 5, the answer is vero. It says when changing a wheel by using the jack, avoid getting under the vehicle. The answer is vero because it is dangerous. What if the jack is shifted by accident? You will be hurt by the vehicle falling on you. So the 5, the answer is vero. Very good. Number 6. Lo spazio totale di arresto aumenta se aumenta la velocità. And the sixth, the answer is vero. It says the total stopping distance increases as the speed also increases. So the sixth is vero. The stopping distance, which is the space that the vehicle goes when starting using the brake until the vehicle stops, that space is increased when we are going at a very high speed. So the six is vero. Please like the video and leave us a good comment if you have been blessed. 7. Il pannello integrativo di figura B indica quanti chilometri mancano per poter trovare un cavalcavia che consente di invertire il senso di marcia. Now, number 7, the answer is falso. It says the supplementary panel B indicates how many kilometers are left to find an overpass that allows us to reverse the direction of travel. And the 7 is false because the word tornante that we see does not represent kilometers left for us to reverse or to do U-turn on the road. Okay, so the 7 is false. And another reason why the 7 is also false is because the tornante is being used for danger, which is a curve. Tornante represents the repetition of curves on the road. So the 7 is absolutely false. Very good. 8. Il segnale raffigurato preavvisa un'area di sosta a destra. And the number 8, the answer is, of course, falso. It says this sign alerts us of a parking area on the right side. The answer is falso because this sign, the arrow that goes to the right side, does not represent a parking area, but it is only indicating us the center of the city and the train station. So the 8 is falso. 9. La procedura di risarcimento diretto non è applicabile se vi sono più di 2 veicoli coinvolti. And then number 9, the answer is vero. It says the direct compensation procedure is not applicable if there are more than 2 vehicles involved. So the 9 is vero because whenever there are more than 2 vehicles involved in an accident, the compensation procedure is not possible. It cannot be done unless there are only 2 vehicles involved in an accident. So the 9, the answer is vero. Very good. Make sure you like the video. God bless you. Let's proceed. Number 10. Il segnale raffigurato è un preavviso di dare precedenza sia a destra che a sinistra. And then number 10, the answer is vero. It says this sign alert us to give way both to the right and to the left side. And the answer is vero because the segnale dare precedenza obligate us to give always precedence to the vehicles that are coming from the left and the right side of that intersection. So the 10 is vero. Very good. 11. La patente di categoria A2 può essere conseguita solo se si è già in possesso della patente di categoria A1. And 11, the answer is falso. It says the A2 category license can only be obtained if you already have an A1 category license. The answer is false because you can go directly for the A1 or the A2 by studying the theory and the practical. So the 11, that is why the answer is falso. 12. Il segnale raffigurato preannuncia una fattoria in aperta campagna. And the 12 is falso. It says, this sign announces a farm in the open countryside. And the 12 is falso because this sign only alerts us of the danger of finding domestic animals circulating on the road. Okay, so it does not represent a farm. So the 12 is absolutely false. Very good. Like the video. God bless you. 13. È vietato il sorpasso in corrispondenza dei passi carabili. And the 13 is falso. It says overtaking is prohibited at the driveways, which is the passi carabili. Now, the answer is falso. Why? Because the driveways or the passi carabili, it represents the entrance of a private property or house. Now, on the private property, at the entrance of a private property, what is not allowed is the parking. Okay, but overtaking is allowed. So that makes the 13 the answer falso. 14. Il marciapiede è riservato ai pedoni e ai veicoli in sosta, qualora non sia rialzato. And the 14 is falso. It says, the sidewalk is reserved for pedestrians and the parking of vehicles. The 14 is falso because the sidewalk is reserved for pedestrians and not for the parking of vehicles. So 14 is absolutely falso. 15. Nella situazione rappresentata in figura, il tram ha la precedenza rispetto ai altri veicoli. And the 15 is absolutely vero. It says, in this situation, the tram has priority over the vehicles. Yes, of course, it is vero. Because whenever there is a tram in an intersection, the tram, according to the law, always goes first. So the 15, the answer is, of course, vero. 16. Il segnale raffigurato indica un'area in cui è possibile la sosta al massimo per un'ora. And the 16 is of course falso. It says this sign indicates an area where parking is permitted for a maximum of 1 hour. The 16 is falso because the P represents a general parking. Now, this parking is not limited to 1 hour, okay? Because we do not have the parkimetro added to the sign. And for that reason, the parking can be done for days and weeks. So the 16 is falso. 17. Il conducente a bordo di un veicolo guasto che viene trainato può essere privo di patente di guida. And the 17 is falso. It says the driver of a broken down vehicle which is towed may not have a driving license. And the 17 is falso. Why? Because if your vehicle is broken down and it is being towed, that does not authorize you to be without a driving license. Okay? If the police stops you, you'll still be in danger. Okay? Because before you start driving a vehicle, you must have a driving license. So 17 is falso. 18. Il postino durante l'attività lavorativa non ha l'obbligo di agganciare la cintura di sicurezza. 18 is falso. It says the post office man during his work he is not under obligation to fasten his seat belt. 18 is falso because it is an obligation to put on and to fasten the seat belts for the postman. So the 18 is falso. Very good. 19. Il segnale raffigurato indica l'impossibilità di svoltare a sinistra. 19 is vero. It says, this sign indicates that it is not possible to turn to the left. The answer is true. It is vero, because this sign, which is a sign of obligation, allows us only to turn to the right and to go straight. Okay? So that is why the 19, the answer is absolutely vero. Okay? Very good. 20. Le rotaie del tram sono un elemento stradale che può essere pericoloso per la circolazione dei veicoli a due ruote. 20 is vero. It says the tram rails are a road element that can be dangerous for the circulation of two-wheeled vehicles or vehicles with two tires. So the 20 is vero, because the two-wheeled vehicles, when they are circulating, or the vehicles with two tires like motorbikes or bicycles, when they are circulating on the rails of the tram, it is easier for them to lose balance. Okay, so it becomes very dangerous for them. So 20 is vero. Number 21. Now, before we continue with the 21, when you are reading a question, try to imagine what you are reading. Now, if you can imagine what you are reading, it is because you understand what you are reading actually. That is why you have to study first the vocabularies of the Patente B, then the topics of the Patente B, then you continue with the Esame Ministeriale, which is what we are doing now. Let's proceed with the number 21. Il segnale raffigurato preannuncia la possibilità di un improvviso e forte rumore dovuto ad aeroplani a bassa quota. 21, the answer is vero. It says, this sign alert us or warns us of the possibility of a sudden loud noise due to the planes that flies at a low altitude. So 21 is vero because the sign is located in areas where plane flies at a low altitude, places like close to airport. Okay, so 21 is vero. 22. La segnaletica rappresentata in figura serve ad avvertire i conducenti che si è vicini ad un passaggio a livello senza barriere. 22. The answer is, of course, vero. It says this sign is the is intended to alert vehicles that they are approaching a crossing of train line without barriers. The 22 is vero. Okay, because whenever you see this sign designed or drawn on the road, it represents crossing of train line. Now, how do I know that this sign represents crossing of train line? Now, the P and the L represent passaggio a livello, which is the crossing of a train line. So it means you are getting close to a crossing of a train line senza barriere, which is without barrier. Okay, and the answer is vero. Very good. 23. In presenza del segnale raffigurato e del semaforo a tre luci abbiamo la precedenza se il semaforo è a luce verde. 23 is absolutely vero. It says, in the presence of this sign and of the traffic light, we have priority if the traffic light is green. The answer is vero. Now, it is vero because already, whenever the traffic light is green, we have precedence. So we have to go first. The meaning of the sign itself also means we have the right of precedence. But in this case, because the traffic light is green, then it gives us more right to go first or to cross the intersection first. So 23, that's why the answer is vero. 24. Il segnale raffigurato indica che è consentito svoltare a destra. 23 is vero. It says this sign indicates that turning right is permitted. The answer is vero because the sign of obligo we see is it allows us to turn to the right and to also go straight. So the answer of the 24 is vero. 25. Il simbolo raffigurato contrassegna la spia di funzionamento difettoso di una parte dell'impianto frenante. 25 is vero. It says, this symbol indicates the malfunctioning or the fault light of a part of the parts of the braking system. So 25 is vero. Whenever this sign or the light of this sign is on, it represents fault in the braking system. So you have to stop as soon as possible and check that which is faulty. 25 is vero. 26. Lo stato di shock può essere causato da una forte emozione, gioia, rabbia. And then number 26, the answer is vero. It says the state of shock can be caused by a strong emotion, which is joy or anger. Yes, it is true. According to the studies, when somebody has too much anger or is too much joyful, he or she can go in a state of shock. So 26 is vero. 27. Secondo le norme di precedenza, nell'incrocio rappresentato in figura, i veicoli transitano nel seguente ordine: RCA. 27. The answer is, of course, falso. Why? The question says, according to this intersection, the vehicles will transit in this order: R, C, and A. And the answer is false because when we watch carefully, the R, which is the yellow car, is the first one going. For the right side is free, so the R will cross first. Then the second one will be the blue, so the A will be the second. And then the C, which is the red car, will be the third one crossing. That is why the 27, the answer is false. 28. Il delineatore raffigurato ha le punte delle frecce che segnalano le direzioni possibili. 28, the answer is, of course, vero. It says the sign indicates possible directions. The answer is vero. This sign allows us to either go to the left or to the right. So the 28 is vero. 29. La luce verde accesa del semaforo in figura consente ai pedoni di attraversare la strada. 29 is of course vero. Why? It says the green light of the traffic light in the figure allows the pedestrians to cross the road. Yes, the answer is vero. If the traffic light of the pedestrian is green, then the pedestrian is allowed to cross the traffic light or the intersection. So 29 is vero. Very good. Number 30. Per diminuire il rumore emesso dai veicoli a motore, si deve sostituire il tubo di scarico usandone uno di diametro più piccolo. 30 is falso. It says to reduce the noise caused by engine vehicles, the exhaust pipe must be replaced using one with a smaller diameter or smaller shape. The 30 is falso because to reduce the noise caused by the engine vehicles, the exhaust pipe can be replaced or should be replaced, but with one of the same diameter, not one of a smaller diameter. That is why the 30, the answer is falso. Thank you for watching up to the end. See you in the next video.